I'm at the border. Let's see if I can get my, you know what? I'm not going to worry about comments. Let's see. Live chat. Here we go. Okay. As you know, oh, right over here, you probably can't see it. Let me flip this around. It's so bright out here. There we go. You can hear that. There's a big, like, hovercraft boat going through right now. All right, let's walk down here. We're gonna go to the main, gate. Show you what that looks like. Off to over here. This ginormous fence that's all around Shelby Park. This is a crazy little area. You've got a whole bunch of border crossings. You got illegal border crossings. Down over here, you got golf going on. Meanwhile, there's rescues in the river. And just all kinds of just nuttiness going on. 5 minutes before I started this live stream, one of the National Guard said, "Hey, you filming?" I'm like, "I'm doing a live stream." And he goes, "You want to come in?" Nobody else has offered to help. Everybody's been like, "You can't film here." I had a guy yell at me earlier, "You can't film here." Like, well, I'm on a public street, so I can. So maybe for tomorrow's live stream, I'll try and get inside the park. But they've really got this park ratcheted down. Unless, of course, you're a golfer. And then it's kind of like anything goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through kind of where we sit with this whole thing, with Shelby Park, the Justice Department, just a bunch of craziness. That is the main entrance. When we saw that video with the mayor of Eagle Pass, this was the entrance that they basically do all the filming. This is the main entrance. Literally, this is Main Street. So just right up the hill, right up here, this is downtown Eagle Pass. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk. Now we can walk down there. So right up here is that's the border crossing. Cars and vehicles. I mean, cars and vehicles. Cars and pedestrians. Pedestrians cost $1. I might go try and do that tomorrow. But yeah, we've had some crazy stuff go on even since I left Seattle yesterday. So yesterday I came down here about 10:30 at night after I got in town. I flew from Seattle to San Antonio and then took a rental car and this a little bit better. Took a rental car and drove like 2.5 hours from San Antonio to here. And I came down here and I think it was this entrance down over here I drove past, and CNN ran a report that as of last night they had arrested their first illegal immigrant the state troopers had. So somebody made a crossing somewhere in here and the police basically arrested them. And they were in a white van with kind of these really rectangular windows. And I was going to take some video, but I thought, what is going on? And then I drove past and you could see the people in there. They were definitely illegal immigrants. There was one guy, he looked like he was from Sudan. And the van was filled up. And come to find out, CNN reported that late last night, and this was 10:30, I was down here, this entrance right here, there's like 4 or 5 of these entrances. We'll just walk down here because we got time, right? You got some time? You want to hang out for a while? I've got an extra battery pack. We'll just do that, right? Doing a little live action. We're not at CHOP. God, it looks like we're at a prison, doesn't it? And this is literally a park. Let me get up a little closer, kind of show you what we're dealing with. I've had guys tell me, hey, get away from there. See if I can do that. Yeah, it's hard because the camera changes its angle. So right beyond over there, and we'll get a little bit closer, is the river. crossing the Rio Grande, right? And it's not very far. We'll see how far across it is, but it is not that far of a river. It's fairly deep. So we're going to talk about three things today. We're going to talk about Wednesday. Let's start off with the first one. So Wednesday was when the feds, the Border Patrol, said, hey, you have until midnight of Wednesday to allow Border Patrol into the park. And the Attorney General from Texas said, yeah, no, we're not doing that. You can go pound sand. We're not doing that. Anybody that is allowing as many folks in here as you guys have, this doesn't help us out. So basically go F yourself. Here's another one of these. Yeah, here it is, literally. These guys are just posted up all day long. You got state troopers in there. You got so many police in there. You can see the flags, Texas flag and the United States flag. And that's Mexico over there. So that side is literally the other side, right? It's the other side. So last night, the deadline came and went. And so now the Department of Justice is going to recommend to the U.S. Supreme Court that they make a ruling on not only the razor wire, so there's razor wire all along the riverbanks here, and there's also box cars. I don't know if you can see them, but if you can see kind of where that orange is and the red is over there, those are box cars from a train. What they do is they put razor wire in front of those, they put razor wire on top of those, and they make the illegals, basically crawl over those. The Border Patrol wants that razor wire cut because they feel the state of Texas has put that there, and they feel like, that's not what we want to be doing. And everybody else here is like, we need to slow down exactly what's going on, because this area here, so I'm in the north end, I'm in Shelby, this is Shelby Park here, and in here is where a lot of the thousands and thousands of the illegals crossed and came in, and they had holding areas down over here. So here's the numbers that if anybody is wondering, well, why are we making such a big deal about this? So on December 20th, there were over 4,000 illegals that came into just this area alone on December 20th, one day. The week before Christmas, there were 22,000 illegals that came in this area right here. 22,000 in a week. Can you hear that loud kind of roar? That, yeah, that's one of those hovercraft boats. It's just huge, and they just run up and down the river. I don't know what they're doing. Fishing? No clue. But they're really active, and it's just a super loud roar. So you got over 4,000 in a day. You got 22,000 in a week, and in the month of December, there were 302,000 known border crossings. Here's a guy. I think that guy's trying to get in to do a live stream. Hey, he's got press credentials or something. Who knows? All right, we're going to take a walk. We're going to keep going back over this way. So what ends up happening is this goes up and it goes around underneath the, you can see pedestrians here. These people are literally crossing into Mexico. They're just walking over. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Should be fun. But so 302,000 people across this border came in illegally, and it's just not sustainable. And so last Wednesday on January the 10th, Governor Greg Abbott of Texas basically said, and I know you guys know some of this, but I'm doing a recap because, I'm here and it's what we're going to do. Greg Abbott basically said, you know what, if you guys can't control the border, we're going to take it over. And they took over this park here, Shelby Park. Everything that you see here. There's some state troopers talking to talking to, I don't know. We've got state troopers here. We've got local police. The local police are feeling left out. We've got National Guard. We've got Texas National Guard. Some people want Biden to nationalize the Texas National Guard. I don't even know if you could do that, but whatever. We've got also, Texas military, something else. There's just all these entities. It's the entity, Texas Military Department. They run the Texas National Guard. And then you've got Border Patrol just roaming around here as well. There's just cops loaded up in here all over. It's crazy. And there's no illegals right now. So what we think is happening is that the coyotes are just pushing people further to the north. But that's basically just ranch land. It's kind of these big wide open ranch lands. So they're pushing people to the north, that direction. And then also Mexico is now, they're actually stepping up and they're doing some deportation on their own. Shocking, I know. I think it's because this area's had so much attention and it's not a good look. You know, it's politically becoming a live wire for the powers that be, because you got guys like me coming down here and going, what is going on? 4,000 in a day. And here's something to consider, is that this town right here has a population of 28,000 people. 28,000 people. And read some of the comments. 28,000 people, and you got 22,000 coming in a week. This area just got overwhelmed, as did all the southern states. They just get run over, and they don't have the resources to take care of it. And eventually, Greg Abbott just said, no mas, we're shutting it down. If you guys aren't going to help us out, actually do your job, which is to protect the border, then we're going to do it for you. And so that is what is at play right now. And so the Department of Justice is basically going down that road of, hey, we got to get let back into the park. Let's talk about another hot topic going on right now. You've probably heard about, okay, I'm trying to look at your comments to see if I've screwed anything up so far. I don't think I have, but I'm 55. I stayed in a really marginal hotel last night. Not the greatest of sleep. So, whatever. Just makes me nervous going past these guys. I know it shouldn't, but it does. We're just going to keep going. I haven't done anything wrong, and I'm a U.S. citizen. What's crazy is that you got to get permission to go into this park. You got to get permission to go into this park, unless you're an illegal or unless you're a golfer and you've got a golf cart. That is literally kind of how things go. Okay, so let's go here for 1 second. All right, so here's the main entrance. Main entrance here. There is a boat ramp somewhere right up over here. And so this is the drowning. I'm going to talk about the drowning for a while, because there's a bunch of people saying, if the Border Patrol was in there, these people wouldn't have drowned, which is absolute nonsense. So what happened is the Mexico side called over at 8 o'clock on Friday, this is Friday the 12th, and said, hey, we've got 3 people that have drowned. Could you help us out rescuing another couple? And so this side here, everybody inside the park said, all right, we will go and check it out. They sent a soldier out. He didn't see anything. That was at 8 o'clock. Mexico called our border protection. Mexico called our border protection and said, hey, could you send somebody over? We're looking for these other 2 people. There were 3 people that died. 33-year-old woman, 8-year-old daughter, and a 10-year-old son crossing somewhere right over here. But the issue is when Mexico called, those people were already dead. They had drowned. and they'd already recovered 2 of them. That's at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, Border Patrol rolls up here to this gate and says, yo, we need to get inside for this rescue. And everybody in here is like, no, we're not letting you in, not even with an emergency, but we'll send a soldier to check all this out. This is dark. They don't run the patrol boats at dark because it's just dangerous. That's just not happening. And so 9 o'clock, they send a guy out, doesn't see anything. And 9:45, Border Patrol calls here and says, or no, actually, Texas Military Department, they called at 9:45 over to the Border Patrol and said, hey, we are watching a disturbance on the other side of the river. Do you guys want to check it out? And our Border Patrol literally said, everything's okay. They've made the rescue. The Mexican side has made the rescue. So there was just nobody was able to help these folks. It was just a super unfortunate drowning that happened probably on the Mexico side, because nobody here saw from the boat ramp. Everybody's saying that it's at the boat ramp. It happened at the boat ramp right where I'm pointing. There was no drowning at the boat ramp. It was a drowning on the Mexico side, right? 3 of them drowned there. There were 2 others, maybe 3, that needed to be rescued, but that happened on the Mexico side. So what's happened is the powers that be, some Texas Democrats, they got really worked up and said, well, if Border Patrol were there, then we would have been able to rescue them. Well, when you called, they were already dead. So no go. And yeah, we're not letting you in because you guys don't patrol the border and keep people out. So yeah, you got a lot going on down here. It's just kind of this craziness where you've got all these different entities, and when you're walking around, you can kind of get a feeling for, wow, there's just a lot of stuff happening, and there's no immigrants. There's no illegals. They are not here. They have been, they're still taking in like 500 a day. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah. So you guys can kind of see what we're looking at. We're literally looking through the fence there. No, we're looking backwards. How about that? So that the autofocus has got to get through the fence. All right, let's see if we can get through. That's better. Okay, yeah. That's what we're looking at. That's where they're basically set up right there. And the boat ramp is just beyond there. So the boat ramp, all the drowning stuff kind of happened right over there. Now we've got a helicopter going overhead. We're going to walk down here a little bit further down, and I can walk down here, and we'll get up and over and we can see some more stuff down here. So yeah, we had the drownings, and we know the timeline on the drownings because the Department of Justice put it in basically the legal paperwork that has been submitted to the U.S. Supreme Court to get a ruling on all of this. So there's no way that anybody could have prevented that drowning. And if you've ever been involved in a drowning, which I have, unfortunately, a drowning takes about a minute, and it goes from rescue to body recovery. It just happens that quick. So this whole concept of if we would have had Border Patrol, the federal Border Patrol in here, is just absolutely ludicrous, especially considering when they first started talking about this, the people are already dead. Here's another entrance. You got another Humvee right there. When I was here last night at 10:30, they had all the Humvees going. I don't know if it's dark, so we got to make sure that we're able to just go somewhere real quick. I don't know, kind of crazy, right? This whole thing is just nutty. Let's see if I can get the comments going. I don't know why I keep getting the comments going, because I can't damn see any of them. Too bright out here. But we're just gonna keep going. We are walking on the towards the north side of the park, and we're just gonna walk up here and walk a hill before there is a major sign that says no entrada, no entrada. And there's some stuff along the way in here. Okay, so we can kind of start to see the river over in that direction. I'll get up closer, don't worry. I can't get through the fence. I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. But yeah, there was full access to the press to all these areas before last Wednesday, before the Texas basically took over. So this is all a state park. You were looking at a state park that the feds have taken over. And they took it over on an executive order from Greg Abbott, governor of Texas, because he basically said, hey, we need to protect our sovereign borders. If you, the feds, aren't going to do it, we're going to go ahead and take over. And that's kind of what they've done. So here you've got a bunch of razor wire. Check this out. So the razor wire, so people get caught up. Let's see if I can get closer there. You guys can see that. Yeah, people get caught up and they get cut out, and it's just a mess. And actually the coyotes right now, and there you can kind of see the river a little bit better. The coyotes are telling people, cut yourself on the wire, cut yourself pretty good, because then they'll send you right to the hospital. I mean, it makes sense, but yeah, it's nutty. I mean, no wonder we've got 302,000 people coming in, because they basically worked the system. So cut yourself, you get medical care. Go to Maine, you get 2 years worth of rent for free. Driver's license, no problem. Buy a car, no problem. The world's your oyster. And yet the rest of us are kind of like, how does that work? Here's some more wire there. All right, you can kind of see there's a truck right in through. You can see that truck. The autofocus is a drag because it takes whatever's right in front of me and focuses on that, so it's kind of hard to get a real clear picture of what's going on. So this is a 2.5 mile stretch of the park here that's in play. And we're going to walk up to where it kind of peters out, but we can get a good outlook and kind of see over the fence at one point. And we might be able to see the hoverboat. There's just the National Guard has been going around cleaning up stuff. I mean, there's just backpacks, there's clothes, all kinds of stuff. Here we can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay. So you're looking at razor wire, a fence with razor wire, and there's kind of the lowland area down below. And people make crossings right there all the time. There was a boat going over to people on the other side this morning. I don't know what they had going on. You know, it's so hard to tell. There's just so many people just kind of going around doing stuff. Yeah, I don't have the greatest of internet down here, so I can't really control that. This is kind of what we've got. Internet in Eagle Pass has not been as stellar as I'd hoped, but it is what it is, and that's what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to keep walking up here. Here's yet another gate. Uh-oh. And there's the hoverboat. Maybe we'll get to see it here in a little bit. Let's keep going. So they were crossing, coming over this fence. There's a backpack that's kind of hung up over here. We've got no trespassing, prohibited entrada. Get up. I had like 3 people ask me, Sean, are you going to carry a gun? I'm like, I don't think I need to with as many people in law enforcement that are going to be here. But when you're walking around and you're like, what's that noise? When you see something in the riverbank, kind of makes you think, gun wouldn't be terrible. Would not be terrible. Okay, we're going to get up to the top and just take a peek down. You can see bag of stuff here, shoes, stuff just left here. People hopped the fence, they got here, bunch of clothes there, and they just booked it. Zapato. Not zapato. All right. There it is. You see a Humvee down here. This is kind of a really good overview of the north end of the park where so much of the activity would happen. But you can see where, so the drowning would have happened somewhere right in here, but on the other side. So if there was a drowning here, these guys would have seen it. It was on the Mexico side, for sure. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but it doesn't make sense that these guys wouldn't see it, and it's just not that far, right? So there's so much disinformation down here, it's insane. And then you get a bunch of media reports, and the media reports basically play, you know, the telephone game and little bits. I've found so many different little bits that just don't make any sense. And so for that reason, I wanted to come down here and just live stream it and see what's going on and see what it looks like. So Mexico, other side of the river, United States goes out halfway into the river. And on the other side, that is Mexico. This is kind of, if you look at a map, this is kind of the big inlet right here. And the boat ramp is right down there, I believe. And so the Border Patrol is saying, hey, we want access to the boat ramp. And Texas is saying, no, you guys have done a terrible job. You let so many thousands of people come through. We're just basically booting you out. And I have seen Border Patrol pull up and leave. I don't know what they're you know, coordinating, that kind of thing. But there is interaction. I don't know to what level you've got going on. Let's go just a little bit further here. And then, yeah, more clothes. Where was that? Yeah, up over here.